Hi there, knife people. Hello, lady and gentlemen. Do you recognize this knife? Don't feel bad if you don't, because I changed it quite a bit. I'll give you a couple of clues. This knife has been very recently released. It was made by a great knife manufacturer for another great marketing outdoor gear company. And it's made out of A2 steel. If you guessed ESEE Sencillo, you are correct. Wait, ESSE is made by Rowan, right?
Sencillo is made by White River.
So, okay, what's the big deal? Why am I reviewing it again? Because I had to alter its appearance. Why in the world would I have to do it? I'll give you a clue. The steel that this blade is made out of is not stainless. This video is rolling back in time, so bear with me. Obviously, before cutting this toilet paper roll, I had to sharpen the knife. Pardon the noise, I am stone tumbling here. This is crazy. Inside this jar is the blade that you just saw during the cutting test. And a half a pound of rough gravel. Make it wet rough gravel. Why in the world would I want this kind of finish? Well, because it's an outdoor knife. And I'm going to use it a lot. And this kind of finish hides everything. Scratches, dings, even occasional rust spot. Yes, A2 steel is prone to corrosion. What am I doing here? I am passivating. Obviously, I blued the blade. And bluing is basically accelerated oxidation, also known as corrosion. So to stop the process of bluing, I spray penetrating oil, which passivates the compound. And that allows the bluing process to stop. And so as you see here, I did bluing before I did the tumbling because I want the markings from the pebbles to be visible and contrasting when the knife is finished. So if I blued after I tumbled, the dings would still be there, but they would be hidden by the bluing, and I think that would not be aesthetically pleasing. Here are a couple of typical ESSE coatings. This is the famed Izula, and on it, the coating is that ceramic coating, basically what it is. And they might have a different marketing name, but in essence, it's basically baked on ceramic coating. And it can be gray, it can be black, like you see this on SE3. And what happens after very short term use, this is what happens to the coating. And some of it is dirt, but mostly it gets these highlight spots. Another example of coating that I actually like better that Rowan did for ESSE, that's another ESSE knife made by Rowan out of 1095 steel, is this sort of pre-oxidized, they call it. It's basically pre-rusted, blued finish. And as you can see here, they tumbled it, rough tumbled it before, or maybe they just leave the sheet metal unfinished, and then they blued over it. And it looks better to me, but it still shows all kinds of scratches. So I wanted to preempt it, and that's why I did my coating in this way. It reminds to me stone-washed black jeans finish, so black denim type of look to it. Let me know in the comments if you like this, or would you prefer me to keep it in the white, or maybe do a finish similar to this ESSE RB3. All right, are you ready to continue our journey back in time? So this is what the blade looks like after bluing. And here's the last chance to see it before I blued the entire thing. Here what I'm doing is I'm degreasing it with alcohol-based disinfectant jelly. With a pretty high carbon content and almost no chromium, this steel is allowing me to blue it very rapidly. A secret up my sleeve is I'm not actually using something that's called gun blue or super blue. I'm using aluminum black. Aluminum black compound or solution is designed to fix blemishes on your, say, AR-15 receivers. But I found by pure accident that it works great on steel. must be because of the aluminum oxide content in this solution. Well, I'm only guessing here because I am not a chemist, but it works. It's been working for me. I stopped buying gun blue and I exclusively use aluminum black. For me, the best place to find birchwood aluminum black is Amazon. I am Amazon affiliate, and so if you click the link in the description, if you want to buy this solution, it will help my channel. I might get 50 to 80 cents if you make that purchase. As you can see, the scales are removed and I'm bluing the entire piece of metal because if any kind of moisture ends up penetrating under the scales, which may happen, it will start the corrosion process. As it is, the finish that I'm putting on will prevent new corrosion from forming because this is a pretty good layer of ferrous oxide. A2 is the kind of steel that will never be carefree, like some of the premium stainless S35, S45, and other premium stainless steels, MagnaCut for sure. But this finish serves twofolds. First of all, it already is oxide, so it will be more inert when in touch with humid atmosphere. And second, it actually absorbs oil. And that's why most of the firearms made until, second half of 20th century were blued. That's just a finish that prevents more rust from forming because it is already kind of rusted in itself. And the strange actions you see me performing here is I am trying to loosen up the screws that hold the scales together. Unlike some other manufacturers, folks at White River spared no Loctite on these screws. So what I'm doing here, I'm hitting them with a lighter for a couple of seconds and it melts the chemical there and loosens up the screw, releases the threads. You're going to need 2 T10 bits, one on each side, to loosen up this hardware because it's not captive. And before I disassembled the knife, I tested the aluminum black on one side of the blade, and I honestly did not expect it to take so well, and that's why I covered a rather large area here for the test. Really, I should have tested it on a much smaller area to see if I like the way the finish looks, because once you blue it like this, there's basically no way back without sanding down the metal, which is not desirable because there's writing on the blade, like first production run. And now it's time to disclose why I started messing with the finish here. See these dark stripes near the edge? This is corrosion. I did not put this knife to the hard use. I did a video on how to carry it, and then I sheathed it, and it sat there for about a week. And I guess there was condensation on the blade, and it resulted in this corrosion pattern that you see here. My only other knife in A2 steel is this Bark River Puko, which I carried as a pocket carry in my self-made sheath right here. And after carrying it part of the summer, spring and summer, I found no corrosion on this knife. Could you please write a comment if you have a clue why this knife corroded and Bark River in the same steel didn't?